Hey everybody, Robbie Stevens here, and when I'm talking about hard rock and heavy metal, of course I use the name DJ Rob the Metal Guy. But this video, it's not about hard rock and metal, and sitting next to me I have...
Yuvraj the Master Singh, and I am the Master Singh in pretty much every instance.
There you go. He knows a lot of knowledge. In this topic, Yuvraj is quite knowledgeable, and I will say, I'll let him kind of take it off and explain what this video will be about.
Yeah, so Rob and I, last time we hung out, we were talking about the problems with the WWE, and this is a topic that comes up quite a few times. If you listen to our podcast, the Unfiltered Truth, you'll notice that in a lot of podcasts we do end up talking about, or at least touching upon, this subject of WWE, where it is and where it's going. Now, where it is pretty bad, and where it's going is much worse.
That's very true. Enough said on that front. And again, how I got into WWE was by just chance. I was flipping channels when I was young because some of the stuff I watched, it had commercials, and sure enough, I found out that this thing called Worldwide Wrestling Entertainment, and sure, There you go. I'm watching it. It was interesting. It was, people fighting, characters, they had stories. In a way, what WWE is, it's like a narration. You have your heroes, your villains, your anti-heroes. And it's about scripting. It's like action on TV. Of course, yeah, they're not, it's set up. It's, predetermined.
Right, the winners and losers are predetermined.
But do realize these guys do fall off from ladders and chairs. They get hit on the head with chairs.
All that stuff, that's real. The pain exists.
There is some stuff that is dangerous about this profession. It's interesting. And I'm sure a lot of people who listen to my hard rock and metal stuff, you're going to go, why am I doing this? Guess what? I do have other interests besides Motörhead, Slayer, and Morbid Angel. So let's get into this, Raj. WWE, you've been watching it for a long time. Raj here has been he's watched WrestleMania. He's paid money to watch these WrestleManias.
$50-$60 for the WrestleManias. I've been watching WWE for easily 13-15 years. Ever since I moved to America in 1998, I've been watching WWE since then.
So let's get into this, Raj. I'll feel, out of all fairness, because you really do have, the strong connection here. Begin, what is a flaw you've seen in the company here? Number one flaw right now.
I think the number one flaw that I've seen in WWE in the past several years, maybe the last half decade, has been the writing. The writing has just been terrible. You see the same matches over and over again. Like you said, there's a lot of repetition, there's a lot of predictability. You know what the outcome is going to be. For the last year, we had the Shield. Every main event match, you knew that the Shield was going to interrupt this match. They
were just getting too overplayed, I feel. They were characters, like you said, every other match you felt on Raw, especially if it was a main event, you knew the Shield's going to interrupt, there's going to be something going on, and they, built themselves as the Hounds of Justice, and it got to the point of, come on, can we just come up with something a little bit different? And now they're breaking up this Shield because I think they realized the Shield couldn't last.
It was getting too boring.
It was getting too boring, so now they're breaking the Shield up. Roman Reigns is set to be the champion soon, probably Battleground, or I think he won't get it at Battleground. I think he'll get it at SummerSlam.
No, I agree. I think it's going to be a much larger main event where the title changes hands.
I think so, but he's set up to be the champion. Seth Rollins is now set up to be like your little instigator. I don't know. To me, they're breaking them up now. Like you said, it was getting boring, repetitious. So here's now the Shield. But in my opinion, I'm just so tired of it. It's just they've put so much investment into this, and I've gotten bored with it. But they're going to have to keep it going because of the hours and the whole little setups they've done with the Shield. They have to stick with it. And we can go with that. Speaking of repetition, they're taking characters. I don't know if I put that on the list, but when I was coming up with the list in my mind, you and I even talked about this. They will take the persona, the personality of a character that was in the past, and try to apply it to a new character. And we've seen that numerous times.
One of the main examples that I think we discussed was Alberto Del Rio, Eddie Guerrero. And when Eddie Guerrero was even when he was a good guy, but also when he was the heel, it was the whole lie, cheat, and steal thing.
Yeah.
With Alberto Del Rio, it's pretty much the same thing. You have this Mexican-American wrestler that comes from a wrestling family. That was the same thing with Eddie Guerrero. You try to build him in the vein of Eddie Guerrero. With you have a few differences, but you notice that the Eddie Guerrero parts are still there, and I think that's a terrible way to go about it. I mean, you can't copy Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah,
he's one of a kind. He was one of a kind.
I think they tried to separate Alberto Del Rio by having him be just the complete Mexican fighter for that, but at the same time you just have that sense, like you said, the aristocratic. He comes out acting as he's the big shot, the top guy. And another wrestler with you could say Hispanic is, well, he's not Hispanic, but Rey Mysterio. They now have Sin Cara, the masked wrestler.
Yeah. I
get kind of tired of that.
Carbon copy, except for the fact that Sin Cara doesn't really talk as much as Rey Mysterio.
But I see that as they're cutting people and having to be very similar. And again, something we found out too is you want to know why possibly you see characters that look similar and the moves they use that are similar is because we found out that WWE actually copyrights moves.
Yeah. So when it comes to WWE, they copyright moves, they copyright your name, so like The Rock or The Undertaker or The Rabbit Wolverine as pertains to Chris Benoit. They copyright almost every portion of the person. I mean, I was telling Robbie this. If it wasn't for the fact that the superstars get paid, I mean, this is just one step away from slavery. They essentially own you.
Yeah, I mean, Vince McMahon must really be able to convince these people during a contract negotiation to sign, because I can't believe the terms. And this came actually from when Raj and I were saying in the movies we've seen with wrestlers, they never do the moves they're known for, right? You've never seen that.
Even when it's almost perfectly set up, like when the Rock was in Fast and Furious 5 and 6, there were several instances where he could easily use the rock bottom.
Not one fight scene. So that's just something we noticed. Now going back to the flaw list here, I also want joke characters, and I think the WWE has a lot of this now. I'm sure people out there can probably list in the chat log or the script below the comment section. Excuse me, total brain part there. But people can bring up so many characters. One character I can bring up, Damien Sandow.
Damien Sandow, the Russian. And like you have here, Bo Dallas.
Bo Dallas, the whole Bo Leave, trying to play off, Tim Tebow, inspirational, but at the end of it, Bo Dallas is a jerk. He knocked over one of the short little, Hispanic bull wrestler guys.
Yeah.
He was picking on him, I guess, and it just shows. So here's he's supposed to be an inspiration, and the worst is when JBL gets so into his character as being the naive wrestling announcer and supporting the wrestlers that you could say are bad or just horrendous, as
I feel that
depicted. But it gets so bad because this guy Bo Dallas, it just doesn't. The fans are making signs complaining about the guy. Bo, leave, and get out of here. That's how tired they are of this, I think.
I mean, when it comes to joke characters, I mean, it feels as though the only reason joke characters exist is to make people chuckle or something. I mean, they're not really that funny. I mean, they're mostly just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you have a joke character,
you could build some of these guys. I mean, probably not Damien Sandow or Boley. You can't build them up, but a lot of these guys you could build up. I mean, like you had D-Generation X with Shawn Michaels and Triple H, and they were hilarious. But you were able to build them up. They had star power.
That's true. They had star power. That's
one thing that is lacking everywhere in WWE. There is no more star power left, and WWE, it seems, just has lost the ability to make stars. I mean, they just keep feeding off the same John Cena thing. Yeah,
John Cena, and then Randy Orton comes in once in a while, and then he's the focus right now of this authority, which you and I have talked about, again, talking about repetition.
Right.
That's what they used to do in the 90s.
The authority, I mean, in the 90s, there was the corporation.
Yeah.
Now they're doing the authority. There's always some of these the groups. That's the ministry, the authority, the corporation. I mean,
it's getting overdone. It's not fresh. And I think fans of the old wrestling are going to start really getting tired of that, because unless you come up with something to keep people engaged, nostalgia is only going to go so far. And another thing is, too, I didn't bring this on the list, but when you bring out old legends...
Yeah, these legends contracts and not have them do anything.
They just come out and talk. And then, maybe they'll be interrupted by somebody. it really just, to me, seems kind of demoralizing because you want to see wrestling. You want to see people fighting, not a guy coming out that was a legend, a great wrestler, just sitting there and talking. You know, Ric Flair is, you know, he's past his prime. I'm sorry. You know,
I mean,
he was young back in the day.
Wrestler.
A great wrestler.
I mean, even back in 2004 when he was with Evolution the first time, he was great then, but
now it's just lost. He needs to go.
He needs to retire.
Ric Flair is time
to hang it up.
So I agree with you there. And another thing here I have, where is it? Right there, the narration and the promotion of WWE is really hit or miss. It's really shaky because I feel they try so hard, and again with their either their sponsors or whatever, and then when they're in the matches, it's just going to be a joke.
I agree. I mean, the narration. I mean, when it was JR doing his own reaction, then it was okay, but even JR got on your nerves after a little bit with all the screaming. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Undertaker just threw him off the cage! Oh my God! Oh God! Mick Foley, he just went through the cage.
I knew somebody was going to do that. I knew it was either him or I, but that's true. And now you have Michael Cole who tries to do overreactions.
Michael Cole,
but it just doesn't work.
With Taz, it worked because, I mean...
Taz had good presence, and I liked how he could describe the match, and now he's doing his own other thing.
And Michael Cole, I mean, he used to be okay, and now he's just an asshole for some reason. I mean, for no particular reason.
I don't know. And then I feel Jerry the King just kind of is there. He's not as prominent as he used to be in the announcing, and I feel kind of bad. JBL, like I said, is... I don't know if JBL is just so
I don't know why JBL
dim-witted that it just works in a sense because I laugh. But it's bad. I'm laughing about how bad his jokes are. My fear is when R-Truth's coming out and JBL was trying to act like he was a gangster. You have a white Southerner.
Oh, you're wearing the 10-gallon hat.
Yeah,
You're wearing the 10-gallon hat, the Dallas business suit at all times. I mean, you look like a guy straight out of the TV show Dallas.
Yeah.
I don't think you can imitate anything else.
And he's saying that him and R-Truth are going to do a song together. JBL, you were cool as, yes, the Texan. JBL trying to be a gangster, you know, play into the character of the announcer. It just gets a little odd. But it's funny. I will say this. I laugh. But at the same time, I'm laughing about how cheesy and gimmicky it is.
I mean, if they had laid off the Texan character, and I mean, in 2004 when he was WWE champion, he was a good champion.
I will agree with that.
They could have built him up easily to be a great champion. I mean, Hall of Fame material, but they just missed that opportunity completely, and they just went with a joke Texan character.
And quickly to touch upon another topic here, then we're going to do the couple recommendations we have. They're pretty simple recommendations. You know, Vince McMahon, this is not rocket science. This isn't like having to try to tell Metallica how to come up with a better new album. No, this is pretty straightforward. But quickly, I need to bring up trends. The Duck Dynasty trend, redneck trend with the Wyatt family. People, do not buy into the Wyatt family.
Getting to the whole reality show trend with Total Divas.
Total Divas. I really feel there's something that needs to be stopped about this because it's getting overdone. Playing off trends. And, you know, WWE's always done that, though. You know, look at, you had the Persian guy during Operation Desert Storm #2.
You had the Iron Sheik.
That was #1. And then, what was it? Hulk Hogan came back and fought some other Persian guy in, like, the 2000s.
Muhammad something.
Yeah, and so they do that. I will say, WWE does that. But now with the Duck Dynasty reality trend, because, come on, the Wyatt family, they came about right when Duck Dynasty was getting popular, and no offense, it just looks so ridiculous. Big bearded rednecks. I mean, Ray Wyatt looks like the head of Duck Dynasty. Willie Robertson. He looks similar to him. I'm surprised Willie Robertson doesn't come out and probably do something with WWE one time. Have a Duck Commander wrestling special. It's just, to me, a little too much. I understand you're trying to, you know, make money and capitalize on the trends of the times, but eventually people are just going to get fed up with it because it's overdone. It's ridiculous. And they're doing that now. Ray Wyatt fights every wrestler. Now he's feuding with Jericho. Why is Jericho having to feud with the trend? You know what I mean? Jericho should be feuding with Jericho or somebody that's important.
If Jericho had stuck around with WWE, I mean, would have been. I mean, he's a great.
I like Fozzy.
He was a great character. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm just thinking if he had decided to stick with WWE, if he wasn't involved in Fozzy, I think he could have been a great character. But of course, he wants to split his time. That's his choice.
And he's just
when he comes back, it does bring people back. I mean, people like Chris Jericho. Because whenever Chris Jericho comes back, his matches always great. I always enjoy them.
Yeah, he puts effort in his work, and that's something to be praised. And that's a recommendation here in a sense. So the recommendations for WWE: get people, use your stars that put the effort and are really going to try to give people a good show. As much as I get tired of John Cena, he's overdone, overplayed, overhyped. I will say he does put effort in his matches. Yeah. Guys, again, you can use The Undertaker possibly still, I don't know, after losing to...
I think that was one of the biggest mistakes that WWE made. Making The Undertaker lose at WrestleMania. Yeah. That's a streak that should have been... It should have kept going. If you wanted it to end, it should have been against anybody but Brock Lesnar.
Make sure your matches, too, when you set them up, going off with Yuvraj, that's a great point. Make sure you know, hey, the end of this match, I know if this guy loses, it can affect the company. You know what I mean? You have to be able to know that. And when I say utilize your star power, make sure the guy that you know is going to draw, people are going to be excited. Because, like, look at this. Yuvraj and I, we're not happy the Undertaker lost.
Right.
And we see
a lot of people
definitely
aren't happy. I think I talked to a lot of people about this, and most of them are pretty unhappy with the fact that you make Undertaker lose, and to Brock Lesnar, a guy that he left the company, and he barely comes back. I mean, if you wanted to have him lose, it should have at least been to somebody like The Rock. I mean, some superstars.
Stone Cold. Somebody
somebody that's big, somebody that Undertaker has feuded with significantly, and somebody that could put on a great show.
And like no offense, not somebody that Paul Heyman's involved with. Because no offense, Paul Heyman to me, it's just I don't like the guy. There's something about him. He's done a lot, ECW, and I respect that in a sense. But Brock Lesnar, because it gives now Paul Heyman a chance to, tout how great he is, and then how they're going to incorporate that into WWE.
Right.
I just get tired of that. So that's moving on. Next recommendation, try to attract a wide range of audience, but stick with,
I stick with what you're good at.
Yeah.
Wrestling.
I mean,
if you move on to do something like the market for Total Divas and the market for WWE is completely different. The people, like I was saying before we started the video, the people that watch E are not the people that watch WWE.
Yeah, that's a big, thing to notice here. Hugely different. Let's not go there. We have to separate it. It's not. I mean, you could try, but at the same time, I just don't think so. Maybe women that watch E or men that watch E, I don't know, but those people that will watch wrestling, I don't think they're
tune in for a second and then they'll tune back.
They'll probably laugh at it. They're not going to be consistent. Maybe there are. Maybe I'm surprised. Maybe there's but the demographics for each just really don't match up. But hey, you know what? I guess Vince McMahon wanted to try something different, and that's what happened. So I guess.
And one thing you were saying, bands, music is a huge part. I mean. Whenever you're introduced to a wrestler, the first thing you're introduced to is music. Yeah. Nothing else. Always music.
One reason I got into WWE too was I heard Motörhead when Triple H came out, and I was, because I heard about Motörhead before WWE in a sense, because I'm a huge hard rock and metal fan, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, is this a Motörhead song being played on WWE? And sure enough. So like you said there, that's going to create connections, and possibly, look, Motörhead played at WrestleMania.
Several WrestleManias.
So you could have bands possibly come to WWE that have contributed, and definitely I think that would add to the entertainment aspect.
Yeah, I mean, put on more shows for your fans. I mean, like what I was saying, local bands. I mean, have a local band come in and cover a song.
Yeah.
I mean, that could also work. I mean, it gives the band more exposure, it gives the people something more to enjoy. And it's great publicity for the company overall. You're helping out local bands.
So I think these are some stuff we offer. You know, I'm sure people out there will give us some criticisms or stuff they feel could, you know, be changed, or, you know, possible ways to improve the company, and also talk about your flaws, which you like and disagree with us. So we get, you know, a discussion going out there on how to keep this enjoyment of entertainment alive. That's all I can say for that, right?
Right.
There you go, everybody. Later.
This is signing off.